Good morning, friends. Welcome to our weekly read and discuss session. We are in the book Drawing Solutions by Patty Dobrowolski. Uh, we are on page 71. Replace the things that no longer align. When you create your map, you will clearly see that many of the things you included in your current reality have hindered your ability to create the life you want. As you work with your map, you may also find that there are goals or desires under the desired new reality that are no longer relevant or need to be modified to reflect the changes you are going through as you work your bold steps and action steps. For example, you may have included get a new car as a goal. Along the way, you may decide that your commitment to environment sustainability has influenced the kind of car you visualize yourself, and now your goal is get a new hybrid car. The desired new reality is definitely the place to identify your dreams. Yet, as you yourself transform through the process of taking your intuition and creativity seriously, your dream may likewise change. In fact, the entire process is one of the constant refinement as you find that some things you initially wanted lose the importance. A single friend of mine had two goals: adopt a child and attract a partner for a committed relationship. When she met her partner and found that many of her emotional needs were being met in that relationship, she realized that the desire to adopt a child has diminished. As your life evolves and changes, you do too. Take time to reevaluate and, if necessary, define your dreams. Perhaps you unconsciously included them due to old family beliefs or because you felt you should. I like to have one hand plenty of what I call oops tape, self-stick labels that I place over any area of my map I want to change to reflect more accurately what is going on for me right now. Exercise, map, performance evaluation. Schedule a session with yourself about 3 months after you create your map to review it from an overreaching perspective. Scan the images and words you have written as if you were reviewing your job performance at work. Notice if everything you included as goals are still important, and if necessary, fine tune your words or images. This check in process also provides the opportunity to celebrate your accomplishment and brainstorm new ways to approach what's left to do. The map is an iterative process. When it reflects what is real for you right now, you keep it fresh and alive as you enhance your beliefs in dedication to your dream. I'll stop here. Do you want to go next, Wendy?
Hurry up and be patient. In this constant state of change, it's difficult to know the right dance steps to keep moving to the beat. Be patient. We live in a world of instantaneous results. If you are hungry, there's fast food so you can eat now. The internet answers any question you can think of with just a few keystrokes. If you live in the US, you can purchase light items online, from groceries to furniture, even if you don't have the cash to pay for it. In such a world, it is difficult to feel patient when what you want to change isn't happening right now. As you wait for things to fall into place, what do you do about the inevitable anxiety? Continue to do all the little things you know will help move you toward your goals. A friend who hopes to support himself as a working artist has been struggling to show a profit from sales of his work. To support his art and pay the bills, he has had to take on lots of odd jobs, from lawn care to mural painting. The odds seem stacked against him. Very few people are able to make a living as an artist in the US. As the years go by and the big money and recognition still elude him, he is undeterred. He believes, without a shadow of a doubt, the day will come when his art and his business will take off. He told me his secret for staying on track and motivated. It's quite simple. Every day he asks life, now what? What do you want me to do today? Then he takes action on every opportunity or intuitive nudge that comes his way and continues to move towards his goal. His determination and patience are remarkable. What this all boils down to is you must determine what you want to change, do everything you can to make that change happen, and then be patient while the universe restructures things so you can live your dream fulfilled. When I began to take part in bike races, my first goal was to place in the top 10 in a race. All my training went towards that goal. When I reached it, I set my sights on placing in the top 5. In time, I achieved that goal and began to consider a new goal, winning first place. I trained harder and rode longer, and sometimes I did well, and other times not so well. As the season ended that year, placing first still eluded me. Then I noticed that most of the riders who came in ahead of me were half my age, while I almost always finished ahead of the riders who were my age and at my level. Was my ability to reach my goal being affected by the context of where I chose to compete? When I began to consider this, I discovered that the best context for me as a middle-aged bike racer was in the Senior Olympics. It never occurred to me that once I turned 50, I was considered a senior. In the Senior Olympics bike races, competing against women in my own category, my abilities as a racer were more evenly matched, and I achieved my goal of claiming that first place podium spot. While it is important to set goals and work toward them, what I learned from bike racing is it is also important to look for what you might be missing. If your plan is thorough and things still aren't happening as you hoped, step back. Relax your focus and see if there is something you haven't taken into consideration that may be affecting your chances of success. Then, like my artist friend, ask the universe, what next? What do you want me to do today? If you have been sharing your process with other people, ask them what they think you might be missing. You will often get some good ideas. No matter how long it seems to take, will continue to feel confident if you stay focused on where you're going. Make a list, review your map, call a friend, or take a walk. Be patient. Be grateful. While determination, patience, faith, and trust all play big roles in the process, gratitude keeps them all in harmony and keeps changes coming. No matter how rotten things may appear, there is always something tangible to be grateful for. Your health, the support of your friends and family, the smile of a stranger when you feel discouraged, the beauty of the tree outside your window. At a recent workshop, the facilitator gave each of us a gratitude journal and suggested we write down 3 things we were grateful for each night before we went to sleep. She also suggested that each night we tell our partner 3 things about them that we are grateful for. When you cultivate a sense of gratitude, it smooths and oils the tracks so your rickety, old cart of visions, dreams, and goals can travel smoothly towards the future. Another way to express gratitude is to think about people in your circle of friends and family, work world, or neighborhood, and send thanks and love to them. Reflect on your good fortune for having them in your life and consciously wish them well. While you're at it, why not send your gratitude for all the people who live in your state, your nation, and throughout the world in every nation? Love everyone and everything and thank them as fully as you can. Finally, simply send gratitude radiating out of yourself into the universe. You can accelerate your progress by looking for ways to perform one secret act of kindness for someone you don't know. This can be as simple as letting a harried mother with a small child move ahead of you in line at the post office. Take a moment when you know someone who's having a difficult time and send love to him or her. Watch how any of these simple acts of kindness come back to you and fill your heart with gratitude. All right, I'll stop here.
Okay, thank you. Become your greatest fan. When you embark on a new venture, in addition to all the planning and visualization, you also need supporters, or at least one die-hard fan who will cheer you on as you celebrate your success and ride out your failures. When I first started out as a performance artist, writing and producing my own shows, I was just out of college and living on a shoestring. I had fabulous ideas for the shows I planned to write and perform, but almost no budget for set or costumes. When I was mounting my first show, I turned to my mother for help in sewing my first costumes. She was an amazing seamstress who had created one-of-a-kind costumes that she and my father wore to costume parties. My mother arrived in Seattle ready to help, and I set her in a friend's apartment with a borrowed sewing machine. Together, we created all the costumes for my first big show, and when she was finished sewing, she helped paint the set. At the last minute, she even offered to be my dresser during the performance. She provided me with unwavering confidence in my vision, not only of my performance in that show, but also my identity as a successful artist. We shared the thrill of the theater and had a great time doing it. When I was writing a new show, she would wistfully say, "Oh, if you would just do that Lucky Dog show again. Now that was a great show." Years later, long after I had stopped performing, she would make the same comments. It became a running gag with my friends and siblings. Today, to this day, when I started complaining about something, they will look at me in the eye and say, "Oh, if only you do that Lucky Dog show again." I always laugh. It reminds me of the incredible support she provided me. She was my biggest fan. Over the years, my mother saved every playbill, press clipping, review poster, and pictures from each of my shows. She carefully framed and hung them all on the walls of my childhood bedroom. My brother and sister laughingly refer to my old room as the shrine. For me, it was an amazing feeling to walk into that room and look around. I felt embarrassed, but also filled with deep sense of pride. Her belief in me was a gift that gave me a constant source of motivation. No matter how many doubts I had about my career and abilities, my mother's belief in me and my vision was a constant reminder that I could succeed as an actor. After my mother transitioned out of my life, it left a big hole in my fan base. One day I felt so overwhelmed and so missed her support, I broke down, had a really long cry. Then it occurred to me the best way I could honor my mother was to become my own biggest fan. I liked the idea. I could give myself the same encouragement faith that I relied on for so many years. But how would I do this? Will I ever be able to silence my inner critic? Could I trust all of my wacky ideas and give myself positive feedback? Deciding to be my own biggest fan was the first step in my own recovery of in my journey of self-acceptance. I realized then that an important ingredient in success, yours or mine, is to accept the fact that you need a fan. That fan may be someone close to you who believes in you, but because your dream is only as powerful as you believe it can be sure that one of your biggest fans is you. Uh, I think I can stop here. How's that?
Thanks.
Sure.
Because the next one's pretty long.
So, I think for this part is like be grateful. So I think that is where I am. I remember like I didn't start keeping a grateful journal, but every night, uh, like I used to thank what happened good for today. So I think this be grateful was also we read in inside search inside yourself book that we read like a few years back. Like that was the book. They also had that be grateful. Happy people are always grateful. I mean, if you keep a grateful journal, if if inherently you are very grateful, you will be basically happy. That's factor that contributes to your happiness. Of another study, or I think those the like, probably the monks who monks generally have that grateful feeling, like they always grateful, and I think that is also part of the contribution to being happy. So I think I read something similar, and I started being not keeping, but I started being explicitly being grateful. Like for example, if somebody does something, thank you, or even if my wife cooks something different or something special, then I'll say thank you, it's good, I'll appreciate and all those stuff. So I started doing that, and I've been doing this for a while, and I seriously think that we like this being grateful actually somehow. I don't know what reason, but yeah, it makes you a little bit happy. It makes you uh, some weird chemicals that go in your brain when you say thank you. I think, and then that really helps uh, to be content also in life. I've sometime back also I started with my kid as well. So I was while sleeping when I used to make him sleep, I used to ask him like, okay, what are you going to thank God for today. And he used to always answer with, yeah, his answers are like, oh, I got this toy, I got this sticker, like everything, typical materialistic stuff. Oh, I got this chocolate, so I am happy, I'll thank God for this. It's like something like that. But I just wanted to start that exercise with him. I did it for like quite a while, and then I missed it. Like I just like for last few weeks, I'm not doing it, but I've been doing it for a while. But yeah, all these answers are generally, oh, I got this toy, I got this something. That's why I'm happy. But yeah, then yeah, so that's one of the thing. Yeah, I'm not keeping explicit journal, but yeah, I'm consciously making effort to be grateful. So that's one of my thing. Yeah, so that's what I want to uh, share with you. Your go next, Julie. Yeah.
Hope a lot of this hit home for me today about being patient, because first of all, I feel like I've had to spend my whole life waiting to get picked up to go to one of my groups, or I don't do that anymore. That's when I was living elsewhere. We're waiting to be seen by a doctor, or these days waiting for my aide to come. Hurry up and be hurry up and be patient. And then there was become your own biggest fan. My mother was really my biggest fan when I was younger. And she's been gone now for 6 years. So it's like I have to become my own biggest fan. My sister is kind of, depends. But there was another section that struck a nerve, and I'm trying to think about, trying to see what that was. Oh, being grateful, Oh, and there was another thing, about sometimes you have to change goals as things come up. That's what I find. Something physical comes up with me that now I can't do what I thought I was going to be able to do. So I have to alter that goal. And then and for me, just back to about being grateful. I just have to be, for me, I'm just grateful for every day I'm here, because when I was a baby, the doctors didn't think I was going to make it. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. So everything you guys said really meant a lot to me. I appreciate. What did you say the book was? Happy People Are Grateful People? Is that the book was that the title of the book you mentioned, Atu?
No, it was Search Inside Your.
Yeah, is that that?
Yeah, that was the. I think I remember that one had that lot of things. Yeah, and then that's where I picked up.
Okay, I'm gonna look for it. That sounds so great. And then, yeah, patience is definitely one of my one of the chips I can let go. And the other thing is being self-critical. And I see that's coming up next, and being scared. I'm not like consciously scared. It's not like I go around saying, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid. But what it is, I think it's in the background. It's like a utility program that's running in the background. So I actually need to catch it and work with it. But what I really loved, and I'm going to implement that, I'm going to go to Walgreens and buy some tapes. You can buy like these white labels. I actually have some in the house. I had to find them. I'm going to actually use them, like when I do a vision diagram or when I am writing something or doing a draft. I'm going to literally put some tape over what I've written and use it as a whoops tape, because I think that the physical act of pasting something over something else is very meaningful for me, So I love that. I'm definitely going to implement that. And the other thing I really liked was the context. When she talked about she couldn't be successful until she realized that her peers were seniors, and that once she was competing with her peers, she could be successful as number one. And I think sometimes we forget that there is a context where we can be successful, or we can grow. So when my son was taking martial arts school, one of the parents put their son into martial arts school. And then the daughter came one day and she was clearly interested. But she said that she didn't want to put the daughter in the same school as the son because the daughter has that natural talent and would depress the son's ability to thrive. Wow. So the daughter was successful in her own, like soccer, in her own athletic realm, but this martial arts realm, they purposely set it aside as a safe place for their son to develop his physical skills. I thought that was very interesting. I think that's part of this, not only understanding the right context, but selecting the right context to be successful is very important. So it's kind of looking at the background as well as the foreground, and in the Fritz Perls' work, Gestalt psychology, that's looking at the background. Like the foreground is everybody you see, what you're doing, like writing the program will be the program specs. But the background actually exerts a lot of difference, and that might be the real business needs. So, in programming, for example, I used to design according to business needs. So if I couldn't do a piece of work according to spec, I would dig deeper and say, what is the real business need? So rolling out my last system, I forgot totally about audit and control. This is a huge system. It was like somewhere between $20 to $40 million budget over 5 years just for my piece.
Nice.
But the whole project was like 200 to 400 million. But no one in that project thought about including audit and control. So I had to, when they come and visit, I had to create something for them in order to roll out. So I had 7 days. Wow. So we negotiated. Basically, I know we could do SQL reports. So I just created a bunch of SQL reports. So they could meet their needs of having information. It wasn't automated. The programmers ran it every day until a system could be developed. But the context was they needed reports. They didn't need a system. So looking at the background, looking at the context, I was able to come up with a solution that they were happy with. And because they didn't really want to stop the system from running, So we rolled out. So that's understanding the context. I think that's really important.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie, for sharing that.
Thank you.
I think we'll move to a last session, commitments. So For me, yes, the first one was the gym part. I'm going to go and join the gym. So that's let's see how that goes. Hopefully, I'll be able to do gym or at least like all 5 days, or maybe four, if not five, so that I just want to make that rhythm. So secondly, regarding the map, so I've been, somehow postponing the maps thing, the vision maps, the small mini maps. Uh, I'm going to like, focus on that one, so that I have something for next week. I'll focus on a small create a small vision map and do that. So I had that, and then I'll see how can I reduce my weight. So which I have gained. My goal for this year like, was at least reducing. So I'm 206 pounds. I have to go to 190 pounds is what my end of year goal is. Let's see how that goes. My initial plan was like every month just have 2 pounds less, so that my end of year I should get close to 190. Uh, yeah, or even less. But let's see how that goes now. So hopefully the gym solves it. And since I'm using my friend's car, that's I have to either avoid that or compensate for it. That's. Do you want to go next, Wendy?
Well, for me, it's um just finish the work I've been doing for my brother-in-law. Keep with my other yoga and my exercise and my reading and studying, and that's it.
Okay. And what are you reading today, this week?
Well, whatever I whatever I find that sounds interesting.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do some exercise, increase my cardio. I'm going to continue to have improved my relationship with my husband. That's number 2, not number 3 today. And I'm going to work on I'm going to writing a document on the collaboration with an overview, purpose, something like that, for Micro Mentors project. And I will write on I'll write my book. I'll do something on my book. I have to. So that's 4 daily. I'll write on my book daily, even if it's just 5 minutes. Okay.
All right.
Or 2.
Yeah.
It's all yours. We're shutting down, right?
Okay. Great. Thank you. Then we'll meet up next week as usual, same time.
All right.
Great. Thank you. 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Yes. Liking this time.
Yep.
It's right. Okay.
Enjoy